Oh, hi, Samuel. You're a bit early for your shift?
'Tis true. I caught a cosmic tailwind coming through the Kepler belt. Would have beat my best time, but I stopped to get you a cappuccino in that shop you like in Florence.
Oh. Wow. Just a touch of cinnamon, grazie.
So, how's he doing today?
He's doing pretty well. This stuff's getting harder for him. You know he was late for the bus today?
That number 10 is always ahead of schedule.
Yep. That's why I stalled the engine.
What?
Yeah, well, just as the bus pulling away from the curb, that way Robert had enough time to catch up and get on before it started again.
You know, that's not procedure, eh?
Well, sometimes I like to work in mysterious ways. Hey, something's up here. Ah, I don't like the looks of this.
Pulse 170 over 140. Respiration shallow and rapid. Touch of chest pain. A little dizzy. He just needs to rest a bit. He'll be okay. Shame though, I thought those new meds would make more of a difference.
Hey Rob, you're in pretty pathetic shape for such a skinny dude. Do you plan to sit out on the whole rehearsal?
Can you believe this? Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I just need a minute to catch my breath.
We've been going for 30 minutes. Hey folks, I feel a little faint. Not enough meat in my diet, I think.
Hey, you know, Sam, kids today would call that guy a
I hear
real...
you, Zeke. Or rather than have you show off your colorful vocabulary, I think it's time we do something.
What do you have in mind?
Well, it's a school, isn't it? I think it's time for a lesson.
I knew I shouldn't have told you about the bus.
It was an inspiring example.
What's happening?
Miss K, Miss K!
Oh.
Call 911!
Oh, come on, that's a bit biblical.
What's happening? Who are you guys?
I'm Ezekiel. This is Samuel. We're guardian angels.
Angels? Am I dead? It can't be dead. I have a math test this afternoon. Oh.
You're not dead, Brett. You're just taking time out from your body. Look, see, your vital signs are okay. Your heart's pounding away. The sudden stress just knocked you right out.
This must be my imagination. Some dream or something. You guys don't exist.
We're real enough, lad. Here, let's give you a taste of what's going on in your own body.
What you're experiencing, Brett, is a medical condition. It's the same thing Robert has to deal with every day.
Doctors call it pulmonary hypertension. Fancy lingo for high blood pressure in the lungs. It's a pretty rare disease. If it gets bad enough, it could kill you.
Why are you doing this? I was just goofing around.
Interesting way to describe cruelty. Zeke, I propose we get this young man to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes.
Or draw a few breaths through someone else's lungs. Hey, maybe if we're lucky, we could introduce you to the ghost of Christmas past.
What is this? Why can't I breathe? And why does my chest hurt so much?
Those are sensible questions, Brett. We'll get you some answers.
Brett, we'd like to introduce you to Alice.
You should sit down. And could you hand me that eraser over there?
Okay.
Feeling any better?
I guess so. My chest still hurts.
Yeah, it'll do that to you. That's what pulmonary hypertension does.
Pulmonary what?
Pulmonary hypertension. I think it's almost finished.
What are you talking about? How did I get here? Oh, I'm dreaming, right? I'm not really sick. I'm not really sick. This is some sort of scam.
It's not a scam, I'm afraid. More of a lesson.
A lesson? Who are you? What is this? What's happening and why can't I breathe?
Weren't you listening? I'm Alice. Do you like your drawing? I'm almost finished.
That's me?
It's the part of you I'm most concerned about right now. See, all your answers are right in here.
Wow. How did you do that?
Wouldn't you rather want to know why your chest hurts?
You said it was that thing, the pulmonary something.
Good, Brett. You were listening. Pulmonary hypertension. Or as the cool kids like to call it, PH. Come on, catch your breath. I'll tell you what's going on in here. You know what your heart does, right?
Pumps blood?
And what your lungs do?
You breathe with them. They carry oxygen into the bloodstream, and then the heart pumps it to the rest of the body.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, I wrote a biotest on it last week.
And I'm sure you did it very well. Now we're going to go in here and look why your heart and lungs aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. You're right about the lungs being the place where oxygen transfers to the bloodstream. This transfer happens inside a network of tubes called the pulmonary arteries. They started as fine, delicate threads that merge into larger and larger tubes until they all meet in the main pulmonary arteries. These arteries join the heart at a valve called the right ventricle. In a healthy person, the heart pumps blood from here to the lungs through the pulmonary arteries. Within the lungs, waste carbon dioxide is removed from the blood and is replaced by oxygen. This oxygenated blood moves back to the heart, to the left ventricle, where it gets pumped to the rest of the body. The body uses the oxygen up, and it gets replaced by waste carbon dioxide. This blood then returns to the heart, so it can get pumped back into the lungs and recharged.
You said, in a healthy person.
Good ears. Unfortunately, right now, Brett, you're not feeling so healthy. Normally, the pulmonary arteries are nice, open, flexible tubes. It's very easy for blood to flow through them. But when you have pulmonary hypertension, they narrow and get filled with scar tissue. So the heart has to pump harder to push the blood through the lungs. The blood pressure rises in the lungs, and the right side of the heart enlarges because it has to work harder.
That's why it hurts.
Yes, my dear. Instead of working efficiently to move oxygen into your body, your heart and lungs are straining to keep up. That's why you're breathing harder and your heart is pounding so quickly. Even walking fast is exhausting for someone like you.
or dancing. Thanks, Alice. Your paintings are wonderful. So, there is a pill to cure this thing, right? An operation? Right?
Samuel, Zeke, I'm done. I think he's ready to move on.
What? Move on?
What seems to be the problem?
Well, doctor, whenever I drink coffee, I get a sharp pain in my throat.
Well, from now on, I suggest you remove the spoon from your cup. Here's my bill. I suggest you pay it before you come down with something really nice.
I don't know, doctor. Can I get a second opinion?
Certainly. Come back tomorrow. Come on. I don't bite. You know I could. All these teeth are mine.
You're a doctor.
Why? What have you heard?
Nothing. You just look like a doctor, I guess.
Well, I guess that means we can dispense with the eye exam.
Why is there a horse on your medical degree?
Well, it was a fad back in the day, but enough about me. Let's talk about you. You're looking a little green about the gills there.
Well, Alice and these angel guys said I have something called pulmonary. What is it?
Let me check the chart and see what it says. Doc. Oh my, you've got pulmonary hypertension.
That's what they said. How's that possible? Do you get it from some kind of germ?
Germs? No, not germs. It's not that sort of disease. There are many causes for this disease. For some people, it can be hereditary. It just runs in the family. It can also be brought on by other lung diseases such as emphysema or certain heart conditions.
I'm just a teenager. I'm way too young for a heart disease.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But old pulmonary hypertension doesn't check the ID at the door, my young man. It mostly ails old folks, but it'll make time for kids, teens, young adults, you name it.
How bad does it get?
Well, kid, do you ever golf? No? Well, it's a fine walk spoiled, but it helps steady the hands, as I always say. This pulmonary hypertension thing can get pretty nasty, I have to tell you. You know about how the arteries in your lungs, they narrow, and it makes it harder for the blood to flow from there to the rest of your body.
Yeah, Alice explained that.
Pulmonary hypertension thing gets pretty bad, I have to tell you. One of the things that can happen is your liver can enlarge, and that makes you feel pretty lousy, I'm telling you. This carpet has a definite bank to the right, and I'm here without a caddy. Well, as I was saying, one of the things that can also happen is you get kind of heart failure, and that's never a good thing if you're fond of hanging around this mortal coil.
And this is the part where you give me the drugs that can cure this thing. You are a doctor, right?
Of course I am. I have the real estate investments to prove it. But, unfortunately, it's not that easy. Pulmonary hypertension is sometimes a temporary thing. You usually get it from blood clots in the lungs or heart failure. But for most people, it's a permanent condition, and we can treat it, but we can't cure it. But over the last 15 years, the whiz kids down in the lab have come up with some great drugs to help ease the symptoms, get you more physically active, and extend your life.
Extend?
Well, it's better than the alternative.
This can't be happening.
Take it easy. Here. Have some water.
I guess you should write me up for some of those drugs.
Well, normally I would, after giving you a proper checkout and all. But from the moment I saw you, I knew that this had more to do with the guys upstairs than with medicine. And that kind of thing I tend to steer clear of. Zeke, Samuel, let's get this moving. I don't remember torture being part of your job description. Don't worry, Brett. They might be righteous old coots, but they won't steer you wrong.
So, how are you feeling now?
Better. I don't really have pulmonary hypertension, do I?
No, not permanently.
But Robert has it, doesn't he?
Sad to say, you're right.
Is he gonna be okay?
That's a mystery even to the likes of us. We help with the small things.
Like me?
Like you. But the big stuff is out of our hands. But I'd say he's doing pretty well, wouldn't you, Samuel?
Yeah, he was lucky to be diagnosed early. But if he pushes himself too hard like this morning, he'll experience the same symptoms you felt. Dizziness, shortness of breath, lips turning blue. But if he's careful, he should be able to cope pretty well. Unfortunately, chances are he'll slowly get worse in time. The key thing here is he's going to get everything out of life he can, despite having pulmonary hypertension. He's working with his doctors, taking his meds, being careful with his body. With the support of his friends and colleagues, I think he can do some pretty amazing things with his life.
He's a great piano player.
That he is.
I was a real jerk.
Well, to be accurate, you were acting like a real jerk. But that's because you were ignorant. Now you're not. Look at you now. Not so much the jerk.
How can I help?
Just be ready to lend a hand when needed. The kind of things a friend would do.
Yeah. That'd be great. What? Gone. You. I think I owe you an apology.
For what? For passing out? You had everyone freaked out for a while. Is he going to be okay?
I think so. Just take it slow in case he gets dizzy.
Here.
Thanks.
Yeah. You know, you were pretty good in the contemporary combination we did earlier.
Is it giving you some headaches?
A little, yeah.
Well, you just lead left, do 3 PKs, cross over right, and then do a layout. Here, I can show you after class tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds good. Has that chair always been there?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
You know what? It would have been a lot less paperwork just to give him a rash. But luckily my shift is over. Here.
Hey, you know I don't mind.
It's okay. We got all the time in the world. Okay, let's see, time of day. Should this be Mountain Standard or Greenwich Mean Time?